What's going on YouTube? This is As Seen by Dave, coming to you from Honolulu, Hawaii. I'll be talking to you about some Hawaii Five-0 from the reboot from 2010 to 2020, the reboot of Hawaii Five-0, some of the filming locations. So this Hawaii Five-0 ran from 2010 to 2020, included Steve McGarrett, played by O'Loughlin, Daniel Williams, played by Scott Caan, James Caan's son, Daniel Dae Kim, who was Chin Ho Kelly. I am standing in front of the Hawaii Five-0 headquarters. It does have the statue of King Kamehameha. King Kamehameha I, the first King Kamehameha, because there are other King Kamehamehas, but this King Kamehameha is the one that united the Hawaiian Islands. So this is the outside of the headquarters for Hawaii Five-0. Again, the series ran from 2010 to 2020, 240 episodes. The inside, which was actually the inside of Hawaii Five-0, their offices, was built and was a set. So this was just used for the outside of their headquarters. But this is the Hawaii State Supreme Court, and outside you'll see King Kamehameha's statue. This is the second one that was built. The first one was lost at sea on its way over here to the Hawaiian Islands. So they built the second one. The Hawaiian government had it insured, so they built the second one and brought it over. And then the first one was actually brought over and now sits on Hawaii's Big Island. So the outside, there was an episode on Hawaii Five-0 where Steve McGarrett and Daniel Williams came out of this entrance after some terrorists had taken over.
Take them to federal lockup, separate cells.
And on that episode was Chief McBride's character, Captain Grover, drove the Honolulu SWAT team's vehicle here onto the lawn.
Captain Grover, hell of a week to start a new job.
Couldn't have it any other way.
Now across the way, which I unfortunately have not watched the original Hawaii Five-0 series, but across the way is what I believe is their headquarters from the original Hawaii Five-0 series, where that ran from 1968 to 1980. So that was their headquarters, directly across the street from this headquarters. So on this video, I'll be taking you across I'll say across Honolulu. I was going to say across the island, but really it's across Honolulu, showing you some of the filming locations from the reboot of Hawaii Five-0. Here's a different view of the headquarters. I do believe there are some shots, which I'll try and find some clips here and insert them, of Steve McGarrett and Danny Williams, Detective Danny Williams. So the show is based off of the original action show from 1968 to 1980, which held the same name, Hawaii Five-0. But this reboot had O'Loughlin and Scott Caan. And O'Loughlin's character, Steve McGarrett, was a Navy SEAL. He was in the Navy Reserves, and he was given a task force by the governor of Hawaii, which they called Hawaii Five-0. Now, this is a fictional task force branched off of the Honolulu Police Department. But he recruited Daniel Williams, who was a police detective in Hawaii, formerly of New Jersey, but he moved down here for his daughter Grace, and joined the team. So the main characters are those two, and then there's Chin Ho Kelly, played by Daniel Dae Kim, who's from Lost, and then later on, Hurley actually joins the cast. He's from Lost as well. So there is an episode where Scott, Caan, and Alex O'Loughlin are backing up Danny's Chevy Camaro, and they almost hit Catherine's new boss, her ex-husband, or her ex-boyfriend. And so they back up and they almost hit him. So, or maybe they just back up and he's in the way, or they notice he's kind of waiting for him outside the headquarters. They didn't actually almost hit him, now that I'm thinking more about the episode, but they actually just back up. So I don't remember if it's on this side of the parking lot or on this side of the parking lot, but for good measure, I'll film and I'll try to insert that clip.
Oh, look. It's Catherine's boss / ex-boyfriend, Billy, is that his name? Oh, Billy.
Billy, what's up? Kath just headed up to see you.
Pretty cool, but it's a very busy area of Honolulu. I don't spend a lot of time in Honolulu, or I haven't actually. We're going down to Waikiki for some dinner, and it's a lot busier than I expected. But I do know, Waikiki's pretty busy. But it's just really cool being here at where they've filmed and they shot a lot of stuff for the Hawaii Five-0 show. This was in the intro, every intro of the show for all 240 episodes, I believe, at least for the first good amount of the episodes. I don't remember. I mean, I know that they had two main stars leave. They had Chun Kelly and Kono leave due to pay disputes. Those actors left, so they had some new faces come into the show, but I do believe they had the headquarters shown at each intro of all 240 episodes. Our next stop is the Rainbow Drive-In, where Steve takes Catherine out on a date when she mentions that they've been out on a date. This is on a Christmas episode, season 3, episode 11, I believe. Just a quick little scene, but Steve and Catherine are seen sitting in his Silverado truck having breakfast on a date, as he called it, the Rainbow Drive-In. Our next stop is a little tricky, as it is the McGarrett house, formerly John McGarrett's house, but Steve McGarrett took control of the house once his father passed away on episode 1. This is called the Bayer Estate, and it is used for weddings. I don't believe anybody lives here, but it's a house that was built in the 1930s, I believe. And it does have the private beach. So behind the house is the private beach. Unfortunately, you can't see the private beach from this side, but this is the front of the house. And there was at least one episode I can think of, maybe more episodes with Steve McGarrett pulling up to what you'll see here, and I will try and find that clip for you. So this is the front of the McGarrett house. So, like I said, it's called the Bayer Estate. But this is the Steve McGarrett house. There is a episode I'm thinking of where Steve and Catherine pull up there, are talking in their car. So I will try and find that clip and put it in. But just on the other side of the house is where Steve and Dano spend a lot of their time on the water side. So yeah, we will head to our next location. So I was able to walk about a half mile down on the beach behind the McGarrett house, which is known as the Bayer Estate. But the Steve McGarrett house, his dad's house, John McGarrett's house, that Steve inherited once his dad died. But here it is, so I'm going to show it to you. It's the beach, or the water right behind me. And let's see it. Woke up earlier this morning and I walked down about a half mile. So Here's the beach, and here is Steve McGarrett's house. Here's the back of it, which you see a lot in Hawaii Five-0. So I'm gonna get a little closer without trespassing here. But yeah, here is the house, the Bear Estate. Steve McGarrett's house. Many scenes filmed here. Really cool that I was able to get on this side without trespassing, obviously. Because if I trespassed, I surely wouldn't be putting it up on YouTube. Like the Bear Estate. Alright.
More than anything else in this world, Freddie wanted to be a father. That was it.
We think the distance is going to make things better, and for a while it kind of does.
Just to give you a view of what McGarrett's would have from off the back lawn, some little private beach here. Not many people out here today. It's a Thursday morning, but not many people at all. Once again, McGarrett house. Just to give you a good idea, this house here is about 4 to 5 houses down from the McGarrett house. This is $11.5 million home, and the one next to it is about 17 to 18 million. So you're not going to be able to get this kind of view in Hawaii for cheap. Nonetheless, if you do have the money, it's very beautiful. Yeah, this home here is about $17 million. Now it's a big, huge home, but about $18 million for this home. See, it's much larger than the McGarrett house was, but I mean, it's massive. Won't be affording that anytime soon. Here we have the Hilton Hawaiian, which is where a lot of scenes were filmed for Hawaii Five-0. And the lagoon right over here, and Kamakona shrimp truck would be parked right over here, kind of where that truck is right there. I'm going to walk over there and show you a little closer. That's kind of where a Kamakona shrimp truck would usually be parked, and the crew would hang out there and eat lunch, eat dinner. But on the intro to the show was the Hilton Hawaiian. And I think it was the top floor Elvis would rent out for when he was here in Waikiki. If you can envision Kamakona's truck being right here on the blacktop, the crew would sit out here and eat lunch. Kamakona would make them lunch with their shrimp, with the shrimp truck.
Please make sure that everything is fresh, because if she gets food poisoning, we'll all be killed.
This is Waikiki. There's the Hilton Hawaiian Village and the private lagoon. Steve McGarrett and Danny Williams and Chun Kelly, Kono, Catherine, they all come here to eat lunch from Kamakona's shrimp truck. Wow, a beautiful Waikiki. It's just about 10 a.m. right now, so not a ton of people out here. I mean, there's a ton of people, but not a ton of people like there usually is. Some of them might have had late nights last night, but so I decided to come down here a little early, try and get a good view of everything. Also, as a little side note / nugget, I was able to meet cousin Flippa from Hawaii Five-0, Sean Garrett. I'd been talking to him through Instagram for a couple of years, met up with him, and went to one of his performances at a local restaurant. So I had some lunch, was able to listen to him play his set and meet him and get a picture with him. So here's cousin Flippa, and excuse my cheesy grin on my face, but you know, when you are a little starstruck after talking to someone for so long and they're really cool and down to earth, I was pretty excited to meet cousin Flippa, Sean Garrett. So make sure you follow him on Instagram and follow his music. He has a couple albums out, I believe, at least one album that I know of. But if you're in Oahu, try and see one of his performances. He's awesome. Well, once again, everyone, thanks for watching As Seen by Dave. Thanks for watching this Hawaii Five-0 video. Some filming locations for Hawaii Five-0. As always, until next time, As Seen by Dave, out.